Hello and welcome to my creative space. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Welcome to another DIY video. If you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe and join this creative squad. Today's video, I am back with 4 more DIYs. I can't wait to share, so let's get started. For this project, I'm using these 2 little homes I picked up from Dollar Tree, as well as this wooden crate. I'm also using black, gray, silver, and white paint, and this little sponge and a brush. I'm going to start by mixing the black and gray paint. It was way too much black paint, so I have to go in with some white, and I just mix it until I got to the gray color I wanted. Now, using that gray color I created, I am going to paint this wooden crate completely, and I'm going to make sure that, the handles are painted, the top is painted, because you'll see what we're going to do here in a little bit. I also decide to go inside and paint like halfway up, just to make sure that, it all looks the same. Okay, once that is done, I grab this little sponge, which I cut it into a smaller size, and I grab the other gray color, the lighter color. It's chalk paint, so I just go back and forth from the lighter gray color and the darker gray color I created, and I'm gonna cover my box completely. Now I'm going back with more. I just go in, and then once I figure out how much I like it, I will move on to the next step. Now for the next step, I'm using this silver acrylic paint, and I am going for a galvanized look if you haven't figured that out yet. And I'm just gonna go in with the same sponge, just a different side on it, and I'm gonna stamp this color on it, and definitely looks galvanized to me. I think it looks amazing. Here is what it looks like once all the paint is applied, and I am in love with it. Okay, for the next step and almost the last step, I'm going to glue the wooden crate to the little metal homes to create a super cute box. I'm going to use hot glue to glue these together, and this is so simple and easy, but I really think it looks really cute. And I don't know about you, but I really think this looks like galvanized, and I was trying to match the color from the homes and the little wooden crate, and I think I did a pretty good job, but let me know down below what you think. Now all that's left is just adding some fluorofoam. You could style it however you want. I decided to go in with some greenery and a candle, and that completes this project. Here is the end result. I absolutely love how this little box turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. For my next project, I picked up 4 of these super cute candle holders, as well as these candles and the same paint I used in my last project. I'm also going to use some Dollar Tree stickers, which I'm going to start using right now. I'm going to spell the word home in these candle vases or candle holders, and I'm going to place each letter on each little glass, and I'm just trying to make sure that everything is even on all of them. Once I have all of them, I'm going to be mixing the same colors to create that gray color, and I'm going to start painting this. As you can see, I was trying to avoid having to put my hand in it, but it didn't work, so we're gonna have to get our hand painted too. Anyways, I'm going to paint these little glasses completely. And once they are covered up in paint, I'm going to sit them on top of this paper, and I'm going to let them dry. Once they dried out, I am going to grab the lighter gray color, and we're going to do the exact same thing we did on the last project, which is just stamping this color on it. No rules, go in, whatever you think it looks good. It's probably really good. And now that that is done, just making sure that I'm painting also the rim of these little glasses. Now that that is done, the last step is to go in with the actual silver color to make it look metal, and I'm just going to go in again, stamping it. I just stamp it until I like it, and it's up to you. I think this is a really fun project. Just do you. Okay, now the last step is to remove this sticker, and let me tell you, I had trouble here. The sticker got wet and it didn't work the way I thought it was going to work. and you know, this is paper stickers, so it kind of just started peeling in pieces, in little tiny pieces, and I had trouble. It works, you know, you just have to be patient. So if you have a Cricut machine and you have the stencil sheets or whatever, just, you know, I would say use that instead, because that would come off way easier than this. But it ends up working out. The only one that I messed up was the E, and that was because I reused an E from a past project, so it wasn't as sticky, but it ends up working out. And here is what this project ended up looking like, and here is what it looks like with the candles inside. I think it turned out really cute. Let me know what you think. For this next project, I'm using this canvas I picked up from Dollar Tree, but it did cost me $3. I grabbed 4 of these little pack of metal numbers, and I'm going to be using these wreath rings that I picked up and I showed you in my haul. Okay, I'm going to start with the rings, and I'm picking the 2 bigger ones, and I'm going to paint these with the same gray paint I mixed from my last project. I'm going to paint both of these rings, and then I'm going to let them dry. Now, for the next step, I'm using my canvas and, of course, a permanent marker in this lumber piece. Now, I decided I wanted this to look like shiplap, so I started drawing lines. But let me tell you, this canvas is not even. And when I made it to the end and I saw this, I was so mad, and I was like, whatever, I'm going to pretend that did not happen, and we're going to move on. Okay, next, once my rings were dried, I placed them on top. They're not glued or anything, and I grabbed the metal numbers and I started placing them on there, just playing with them to see exactly where I would want them to sit. And I'm glad I did this because I am going to need an extra one. So I cut a 7 and I created that extra one, and I placed it first in the 11. I was like, that looks weird, so I decided to switch it with the 1, and I think it looks way better. Once I figure out where everything's gonna go, I'm going to start gluing this together. I use hot glue, but it's not gonna be strong enough because it's still standing, it's still put together, but I would say maybe use E6000 or I don't know, glue them down, hold them down with something else. But I was trying to finish this video, I'm sorry, and I didn't try to go around and figure out what else I could use. I just placed them here. And again, it's holding up, but I feel like eventually they're gonna come off, so I would have to go in and fix that. But anyway, now I'm going to start gluing the numbers. I also use hot glue for that. I'm just going to start placing them on there. I decided to go with, you know, the 6 and the 12 to make sure that they're sitting in the middle, and then work my way into the next numbers. And here is what it's looking like. Once I, you know, figure out which number is gonna go, I started gluing them. I thought this was way easier. Once everything was glued down, I decided to go in with this brown chalk paint because I felt like the rings and the numbers were kind of just blend in, and I thought that adding this brown paint will make it look like it was rusty, and I wanted a little contrast in between the rings and the numbers. I really like it. Let me know what you think. Okay, since I was making a clock, I thought I could just go to Dollar Tree and find clock hands, or a clock that I could take apart to use the hands, and I could not find any. Apparently, nobody uses those anymore. And so I decided to print some with vinyl because I really wanted this to have hands. Now, eventually, I'll probably pick up hands or order some on Amazon. But for the purpose of this video, I end up using vinyl. And here is the end result. I think this turned out really cool. Let me know what you think. Do you like it? Not? Let me know down below. For my last project, I am using this magnetic dry erase board, these wooden cubes from Dollar Tree, as well as this little magnetic buttons in the wooden circle. Okay, first I wanted to remove the frame off of this and use just the magnetic board, but it did not end up looking the way I thought it was going to look in the inside, so I decided to put it back on there and do it all as one piece. Now, as you can see, I'm using the exact same gray mixture color I used throughout the video because, yes, you guessed it, we're gonna make it look galvanized because this is galvanized DIYs. Okay, so once this is completely painted in gray, I am going to let it dry. And yes, you guessed it, now we're gonna go in with the same lighter gray color. We're gonna cover this board completely with this paint and, you know, just have fun, cover it up, and then we'll move to the next step, which I'm sure you already know what's next. If your guess was that we were gonna go in with some silver paint, you were right. Okay, yes, that's the last step for this piece. I'm just going to stamp it with this silver paint and make it look like it's made out of metal. Woohoo! Okay, now once this is completely painted, I'm going to let it dry and move on to the next step. Okay, now I'm grabbing the wooden cubes and I'm going to glue them in by 5s, and I'm creating a little X. Can you guess what we're making? A tic-tac-toe, but not just any tic-tac-toe. We're making a magnetic tic-tac-toe. Yes, you heard it right. So I'm gluing those 5 pieces together with hot glue. Now that they're all glued together, I am going to grab my circles and my X's and I'm going to paint them with this acrylic white paint. Now, I was looking for the Jenga blocks because I wanted to make bigger X's, but I didn't find any at the Dollar Tree, which is why I used the little cubes that I already had. Okay, once everything is painted, it's time to put the little magnetic buttons that I picked up from Dollar Tree. And I don't know why I thought I needed 2 packs. I didn't realize, I guess I ignored completely that the pack says that it had 12 and the other one 14. So you only need 1 pack and you'll probably have leftover ones. But anyway, I'm going to start gluing them into these pieces, into the circles and the X's. And I'm using hot glue for that. Okay, this was a last minute decision, but I decided to distress these because I thought they were too white and I wanted them to have a little contrast. So I decided to go in with my antique wax, and I really like them like this, but you could also paint them different colors. And to make it look like an actual tic-tac-toe, I am going to be drawing lines with a permanent marker. But first, I'm using my pencil and my ruler to measure these sides to make sure that when I go in with the lines, they're even. And here I am drawing my first line with the permanent marker. I am going to continue to finish up this tic-tac-toe piece. And here is what it's looking so far. I think it's looking amazing. Now let's test it. Okay, next step, you could either hang it on the back like I'm doing right here, or you could add magnetic stickers on the back to be able to, you know, put them on your fridge, which is what I'm going to do because my daughter really likes this and I think it would be a good place to have it. But anyways, this completes this project. Now, here is the end result. I think this turned out really, really good. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, as well as let me know which one was your favorite DIY. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you on my next DIY. Bye!